I'm Todd Jacobs, and for those who have not yet met, I am the president of the Community Foundation. I come to you from the Community Foundation's offices, located just above the historic Frauenthal Theater. Perhaps you don't know, but the Frauenthal is part of the Community Foundation. Soon you're going to hear updates and learn about many exciting opportunities available to our community. But before we get there, I would like to say thank you. Our work is never done in isolation. It requires our grant partners, donors, municipal and faith leaders, the entire community. I'd also like to remind you that our strategic work is driven by 3 institutional values. They are hope and opportunity, building collaborative community goals and decision-making, in building an inclusive community. These values will make it possible to achieve our vision of building a vibrant community with great opportunities for all. Our strategic work finds us in 3 areas: the areas of education, community and economic development, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our goals are around advancing educational attainment, fostering a dynamic local economy, and enhancing community trust and promoting prosperity for all. Today, we're going to highlight some of our efforts over the past year and share opportunities for us to work together. I would now like to introduce Eric Messing, Executive Director of the Frauenthal Center.
Thank you, Todd. Good afternoon. I'm Eric Messing, Executive Director of the Frauenthal Center, and it's my pleasure to have this opportunity to share some highlights of what's happening at the Frauenthal Center. We are currently wrapping up a $5.1 million preservation campaign effort, which allowed us to make some much needed improvements to the facility, including restoration of the terracotta facade, 102 new energy efficient windows, updated marquee with LED lighting and digital display screens, the complete replacement of our HVAC system, and heated sidewalks along the perimeter of the facility. I'd like to thank everyone attending today who played a role in the success of this campaign and investing in the future of this downtown landmark. The Frauenthal Center proves to be a place to experience it all, with continued offerings from the West Michigan Symphony and Muskegon Civic Theater, among others. We are certainly looking forward to our upcoming engagement with Dance Theater of Harlem on May 25. Dance Theater of Harlem is an 18-member multi-ethnic company performing a forward-thinking program with the message of empowerment through the arts for all. Please join us for this powerful presentation by visiting frauenthal.org for tickets. We also have our popular Alley Door Club music series playing in our ballroom on select Friday nights, with upcoming performances from Big Daddy Fox and Friends and Steeple Hill. In addition, we have our free family movie days taking place every month, featuring The Secret Garden in April and Raya and the Last Dragon in May. We also continue to serve as a destination for weddings and special events, with over 24 weddings scheduled for 2022. We are preparing a full season of entertainment for you coming this fall, and we will be announcing our 22-23 season in the coming weeks. Until then, I look forward to welcoming you back to the Frauenthal Center. And now I'm happy to pass it over to Janelle in Community Investments. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. Hello, everyone. I'm Janelle Mar, and I'm the Vice President of Community Investment. The Community Investment team does the grant making and program-related investment work. And thanks to your generosity, we sent over $9.5 million out the door in 2021 to help support the good work of our Muskegon organizations. I get to share with you a small slice of that grant-making work. As Todd shared, our discretionary grant-making falls into one of 3 strategic focus areas: community and economic development, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and education. I'm going to talk about our community and economic development work, and my colleagues Jocelyn and Amy will share more about our diversity, equity, inclusion, and education efforts. Last year, a group of local business owners and 14 different community foundations, donors, and discretionary funds came together to ensure that all students in Muskegon County have access to preschool through the Preschool for All program, which provides free full-day preschool to 4-year-olds and Muskegans in Muskegon Heights. We're happy these youth and their families have access to high-quality early education, but we're even more thrilled to see that the business sector was engaging in conversations about the importance of preschool and daycare for support of our workforce. 70% of low-income families who are not currently working cite taking care of family as their primary barrier to returning to the workforce. So an investment in high-quality early education is a two-generation strategy for an educated community and a healthy workforce. We also run a $1.3 million scholarship program here at the Community Foundation, and we're thrilled to support students who are continuing their education. However, we know that by the time students are graduating from high school and applying for our scholarships, many have been lost from the pipeline of students who see themselves in a higher education space. In 2018, the Community Foundation shifted a portion of our discretionary scholarships to help create aspirations for students through the Kickstart to Career program. The program provides a $50 seed account for every kindergarten student in the county to be used for education beyond high school. Families are also encouraged to grow the account through their own savings and financial literacy lessons, as well as matches that encourage savings and positive behaviors in schools, such as participating in March's Reading Month challenges or doing career exploration work. To date, 1,100 students have saved over $20,000 towards their future, with an additional $400,000 in seed deposits and incentives from the Community Foundation set aside in the Kickstart to Career program. We're excited for these future scholars to realize their dreams, and we're glad to invest in their future now. Another expansion of our scholarship program is our adult student program. We've always had funds that support adult students, but recently made the application period rolling, recognizing the flexible needs of our adult students who are returning to grow their careers. We know supporting our adult students increases career opportunities for those who currently live, work, and are raising families in our community. Finally, we're excited to share more about our investments in a food processing incubator referred to as FARM, short for Food, Agriculture, Research, and Manufacturing. The facility was built with grant support from the Michigan Economic Development Commission and sits on the campus of Muskegon Community College. The Community Foundation has been fiduciary for the project, which rose out of our Healthy Muskegon work that focused on healthy food access. The facility offers second stage food processors who have grown out of small kitchen spaces but aren't yet ready for a larger processing facility the opportunity to do food production work while also receiving business supports from MSU Extension. Food processing is a key industry of focus for Muskegon County, and the farm facility increases the local resources available to support that growth. Finally, we also recognize that housing is a top community and economic development priority here in Muskegon. Housing efforts are definitely on our radar, and we're convening local leaders, and we have more to share soon. Now you'll hear more from my colleague, Jocelyn.
Thanks, Janelle. I am Jocelyn Hines, and I also have the pleasure of serving on the community investment team. I am glad to share some of the things the Community Foundation has been involved in regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion, better known as DEI. The Community Empowerment Small Grant Program was started in March of 2020. The program was established to support our smaller grassroots organizations in Muskegon County. We realized that some of our low capacity grantees were not able to navigate our traditional grant processes or necessarily fit all the qualifications. It was started to remove barriers and build better relationships with our smaller neighborhood-based organizations. We can award up to $3,000 for grantees, and we review applications monthly. In 2021, we funded 14 organizations totaling close to $23,000, with the average grant size being over $1,600. Some projects and programs included the Juneteenth fireworks celebration, entrepreneurship courses for mothers, and a Courageous Conversation book club at a local church. We also held a small socially distant celebration at the farmers market to honor those grantees and hear about the work they are doing in our community. With these small investments, we were able to see other match opportunities and reinvest into the community. The priorities of the Community Empowerment Small Grant Program were to fund programs, projects, and events focused on our strategic plan focus areas. We are proud of this and hope that it continues to grow and expand. If you are interested in learning more about this program, please visit our website or contact me directly. Another DEI initiative of the Community Foundation is our support to the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion at the Muskegon Community College. In 2020, the foundation, along with other organizations in the community, provided resources to create this office that will focus on DEI trainings and initiatives not only for the college, but for the private and public sectors as well. One of the programs they offer is the Inclusive Leadership Academy, where they provide resources and mentorship to leaders of color. If you are interested in learning more about this office, please visit Muskegon Community College's website. Now, I would like to pass it over to Amy.
Thanks, Jocelyn. I'm Amy Moore, Vice President of Evaluation and Grantee Capacity, and I work closely with the Community Investment Team. Together, we work to enhance collaborations that support the community's capacity to implement change and strengthen Muskegon County. I'm going to share some efforts that we are working on in relation to advancing educational attainment through lifelong literacy and educational equity. Over the past 6 months, we've been working with over 20 area faith partners to explore how local churches can implement literacy-based programming. Connecting the faith community to schools and nonprofit organizations with a literacy focus is one of the strategies we think will help increase students' likelihood of graduating from high school on time and being successful. We have also been staying connected to the Muskegon Area ISD and the work of the literacy coaches. Last year, the Community Foundation awarded $100,000 to the ISD to support elementary teachers and expand their professional development related specifically to literacy. The effort has equipped teachers with more skills when teaching students. You may have heard that one of the indicators of being successful in later years is students' ability to read by 3rd grade. This grant award supports teachers in the literacy development of every student in the county. That's over 6,000 students. Being inclusive is important to the Community Foundation as we work towards educational equity. Advocacy is a big part of this effort. Staying engaged in statewide efforts like the Michigan Partnership for Equity and Opportunity helps us keep Muskegon's voice in the room. When decisions are made at the state level for our students, especially the most underserved, the Community Foundation wants to make sure all voices are represented. Similarly, we work to leverage state and local federal dollars that promote programs for families. Some examples include helping parents understand how to access the Earned Income Tax Credit and collaborating with invested partners like Goodwill Industries and the Great Start Collaborative. Together, we are working locally, regionally, and statewide to help ensure our county is represented by reiterating the importance of educational equity. In order to ensure that we are sharing what our residents need, we have been hosting listening locations. We have been getting out of our offices and into the community to listen and learn about what you're proud of, what you see as a need in your community, and where there are opportunities for the Community Foundation to help. You can find us at the US Cafe in Muskegon Heights the 2nd Wednesday of every month. And starting next month, we plan to expand our listening locations to the White Lake area. Now, you will hear from Pete. Pete?
Hey, thanks, Amy. My name is Pete Deboer, and I'm the Director of Donor Relations here at the Community Foundation. As Jocelyn and Amy told us about, one of the goals of the Community Foundation's strategic plan is to enhance community trust and promote prosperity for all, centering around diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. And it also pushes us to diversify our connections within the community and donors. Muskegon Lead, or Leading Effort Against Discrimination, is a giving circle we helped launch a few years ago. A giving circle is a group that comes together around gifts to a common cause, hoping to make a bigger impact than giving on an individual basis. Our giving circle is growing and is now up to approximately 45 members of the community who are aged 50 and younger and who represent much of Muskegon County's diversity in terms of race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation, among others. And each member is committed to a $400 annual gift. With those gifts, half stays within a fund at the Community Foundation and is building a permanent endowment to support DEI work. The other half is granted out each year to support local DEI work, with the recipient voted on by the members. This last year, LEAD gathered both virtually and in person 3 times. We visited a past grantee, Coalition for Community Development. CCD was able to share their work at their community garden in Muskegon Heights. We also visited with Kaya Thornton Hunter and her staff at the S Cafe to hear the story of building both her business and her nonprofit overcoming barriers. Lastly, LEAD gathered to hear from Tim Wheeler, a local author, and his partnership with the Muskegon Area Intermediate School District and distribution of DEI books to fourth graders in the county. Disability Network also shared with us their message about including people with all abilities into the DEI conversation. LEAD is proud to be working with its most recent grantee, Legal Aid of West Michigan. Legal Aid will host expungement clinics in Muskegon that help returning citizens through the new Michigan laws. One of those attendees of the clinic shared this perspective. Expungement matters to me because criminal records have been a major barrier to getting a good job. Also, it can be embarrassing for me to explain these past mistakes to other people, especially my family. I'm ready to move on. LEAD looks forward to more gatherings this spring to discuss a perspective from a gay member of the community who is also a LEAD member. He will also share with us information on the expanded Muskegon Pride event upcoming on June 4th. Additionally, LEAD will gather around a discussion with a Muskegon resident and his experience in buying a house, a story that was recently shared on NPR's This American Life. We are happy to share with you the growth and partnerships of LEAD and hope to increase its impact moving forward. Anyone can give to support the LEAD Fund and the Community Foundation in any amount. And we are happy to chat with anyone in the age range of this giving circle interested in joining. Please reach out to me if you are interested in becoming a member of LEAD. Now, I'm proud to turn it over to my colleague, Heidi.
Thanks, Pete. Hi, everyone. I'm Heidi Sytsema, and I'm the Vice President of Development and Donor Services. We're so excited to share these highlights of the good work we're doing in the community. But as has been mentioned, this work doesn't happen in a vacuum. It requires community partners and investment of gifts. If you're someone who sends us $25 every year, you're a partner. If you're someone who created a donor advised fund with us and you use it to support all the community causes you care about, you're a partner. If you're a nonprofit who does the important work that the grants support, and if you're a nonprofit who has chosen to build up your own endowment fund with us, you're a partner. And all the people who have gone before us and left gift from their estates are partners. Jan Stone comes to mind. Jan was born and raised here in Fruitport and went on to have a successful career elsewhere in nursing and hospital management. She retired here to Norton Shores just a few years ago, and I had the good fortune to meet her then. She loved Muskegon, and she was so excited to see its resurgence, and she was eager to volunteer on community projects. In what felt like a pretty cruel twist, Jan was diagnosed with an aggressive cancer. She was devastated, but still, in her words, wildly grateful until she passed away a year ago on March 1st. While obviously she hasn't been able to be involved as she'd hoped, Jan left a portion of her estate to the community, and the Janice Stone Fund is supporting the Frauenthal Preservation Campaign in addition to providing unrestricted permanent resources for the community. Jan is a partner. We're grateful for those of you who give and who create funds and who plan future gifts from your estate like Jan did. So today, we're asking you to consider chipping in. If you have a fund with us already, you could recommend a grant toward this strategic work. Or each of us can give our $5, $50, or $500 to the Greater Muskegon County Fund and add to the permanent resources that will make our community even stronger. In fact, a commitment to giving $500 per year over a 10-year period will allow you to create a strategic fund, as we call it, in your own name and create a family legacy. Strategic funds are either unrestricted or they're focused on one of our 3 strategic areas of education, community and economic development, or diversity, equity, and inclusion. The way you give to this work or any of your favorite causes can be through familiar means like writing a check or giving online, but we've also seen more donors choosing to give in tax smart ways, like with appreciated stock or with the required minimum distributions from their IRAs once they hit age 70 and a half. We also encourage everyone, yes, everyone, to consider leaving a piece of your estate to the community. If everyone leaves just 5% of what they have, over $680 million could be added to our community's resources by 2055. but it takes all of us. If you're connected to a nonprofit and would like to talk about building your endowment and sustainability for your organization, or if you're curious about any of the giving options I mentioned, you can reach out to me or to Pete, who spoke before me, or to our colleague, Benita Jackson. There's never any pressure, and we'd love to have a conversation about your Muskegon County legacy. Thanks so much for listening and for loving your community. Colleen?
Thank you so much, Heidi. Hi, my name is Colleen Zahrt, and I am the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Community Foundation. I am so grateful to be here with all of you today. If you haven't already, please go ahead and use the Q&A feature to leave your questions for us. And we will go ahead and get started. Let's see here with Elisa Hopper. Put in the Q&A, would love to see more job shadowing opportunities in middle grades and high school to help kids have a better sense. Janelle, I believe you were going to speak to that.
Sure, thanks, Colleen. Yeah, Alyssa, we agree that those types of opportunities are a really important component of a student's educational experience. I know the community's worked really hard on building a sort of robust continuum of student success. You know, we've got investments in early childhood education through the Preschool for All program and the expansion of Head Start and GSRP, then the Kickstart to Career program that helps our students get that future focused mindset and really see themselves in a higher education space. And then our local career tech center has employed career specialists, and I'm going to put some information in the comments here so everybody can take a look at the website about the immense body of knowledge and resource that's available through that. That helps get students some of the exposure to career experiences along with the career exploration that can actually happen for students as they visit the Career Tech Center. But certainly expanded job shadowing is an important component of students being able to see themselves having a bright future here in Muskegon County.
Thank you so much, Janelle. That is currently the only question in our Q&A. I am going to give our audience just a couple moments here to leave their questions, just in case anyone else would like to add one. So just give us a moment here as we wait for that to update. All right, well, if there are any questions after the fact, please feel free to reach out to us. You can obviously contact any of us individually, but you can also contact us at info@muskegonfoundation.org. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And with that, I'm going to kick it back to you, Todd. Oh, Todd, you're muted.
My apologies. Before we say goodbye today, I'd like to acknowledge that we fully understand and appreciate that it takes the entire community to reach these aspirational goals. It takes you, our donors, and our grantee partners. Similarly, the Community Foundation works closely with local and state leaders to advocate for policy change and leveraging state and national resources. If you have any additional questions or would like to talk more, please do reach out to us. I believe our phone numbers and emails have been indicated in today's chat. Feel free to stop by one of our listening locations. Again, thank you for all that you do and have a blessed day.